Okay guys, something you may have noticed over the last month or so has been an exciting new shoe release from FootJoy. These are HyperFlex, where as you can see they certainly catch the eye. What I think we're seeing here from FootJoy is their first real move into that, into the sort of trainer golf shoe market, where we're used to seeing shoes from people like Adidas and Puma, which have got that real trainery feel. And this is definitely a move in that direction from FootJoy. FootJoy we associate more with more traditional sort of like golf shoes. They've got a fantastic reputation for for comfort and stability and performance. And although with last year with DNA we probably saw something a little bit edgier from FootJoy, real cutting edge technology, but still they were quite a clean and smart look about the DNAs, whereas this, like I say, is really a move in a slightly different direction. Just to tell you a little bit about the shoe, you've got this fine-tuned foam sort of sole, which gives it that sort of like soft and sort of like bouncy feel when you've got them on. As you can see from the design here, this is really quite cool. This sort of grid on the front, which is actually taking inspiration from a bridge in Boston. Again, this is something that's not completely new from FootJoy. We've seen with their apparel that their designers often take inspiration from cities and things that they see around in buildings and things like that. The very first time we actually saw anything about HyperFlex was during the 2014 Ryder Cup, where Hunter Mahan was actually sort of trialling these out. It caused quite a bit of a stir because everyone knew that Hunter Mahan was a FootJoy ambassador, but they could see he was wearing these quite strange, very different looking shoes, and we eventually learned that this is what it was that he was wearing. And like I said, it's not something you expect from FootJoy. Something that's a little bit different on HyperFlex. You've actually got the FJ quite prominent there on the side, and I think that if you saw that shoe in your pro shop and you didn't have that FJ there, you wouldn't think that was a FootJoy product. So I think that that was one of the reasons why the brand were keen to kind of emphasize the FootJoy logo on there. So yeah, my overall reaction is that these are a really strong product in that sort of trainer golf shoe market. You've really got that light feel that you'd expect from a more trainer type shoe. But what FootJoy said is that you get some shoes on the market that are just too light, and it's not actually possible to get all the sort of control, performance and stability benefits from a golf shoe that's actually too light. If you start taking too much away, you're taking some of the away from the performance. So I wouldn't say that this is like by any means like the lightest golf shoe on the market, but it is it's definitely got all those performance benefits that you'd want from a golf shoe and from a trainer as well. Not everyone's going to want to go for this particular colour, and there are more sort of toned down versions available. I personally really like this one. I think it looks really cool. I think it's going to sort of liven up whatever sort of golf outfit you're wearing. So if you're one of the sort of golfers that leans more towards the trainer type golf shoe, then I would definitely recommend giving FootJoy HyperFlex a try.